With less than a month until Election Day, President Trump's health has become the latest factor for voters to consider. Face the Nation moderator Margaret Brennan spoke to a group of Biden and Trump supporters to see how it is impacting their view of the race.
Can I see a show of hands from those of you who believe that the news of the president's illness will affect the presidential campaign? Will it affect votes? Jill, why do you think this will affect votes?
Knowing that he now has the virus, and all the people that maybe went out and supported him, that maybe went to rallies and did things and didn't wear masks, maybe they feel a little betrayed. So it may affect a few people.
Juan, do you feel you've been misled?
Not in the least bit. He told us from the beginning. He tried to be positive, but he never lied to us. He said people are dying. China lied, people died. Bad things happen. It's a horrible, horrible virus. My wife's uncle's wife died way at the very beginning in March. So we knew it was serious. And I don't think he ever lied to us. He was trying to pump us up and try to keep us positive while the experts are giving you the nuts and bolts of what was going on.
For more on what voters think, let's bring in CBS News Director of Elections and Surveys, Anthony Salvanto. Hi there, Anthony. So you have some new numbers from after last week's debate, but this was before the president's diagnosis was public. What can you tell us?
Well, that's exactly right on the timing, Elaine. We were polling in Pennsylvania and Ohio, two critical battleground states. Let me show you for one reason why. If we look at the electoral map right now and the blue states that are leaning towards Joe Biden, the red states leaning towards the president, the white, the pure toss-ups, you point at Pennsylvania, and for one thing, were it not to be leaning towards Joe Biden, if I take it and I put it back into the toss-up column, you see Joe Biden's electoral count there drops below that 270 magic number. So that's one reason Joe Biden is trying so hard to win it, the president trying so hard to hold on to it, Elaine. And then the other thing is, coming out of the debate, one of the things that we learned, and I'll take you back to the dashboard here and show you one of the things we found out from the polling, is that Joe Biden had an advantage on a couple of key qualities in Pennsylvania and also in Ohio. One was acting presidential. That was coming out of the debate over Donald Trump. And then also whether they have the right temperament to be president. Joe Biden also coming out of the debate with higher numbers. So that's one attitudinal reason anyway why we saw Joe Biden having a lead in Pennsylvania and a tied race in Ohio, Elaine.
So, Anthony, what has changed in Pennsylvania since 2016?
Very, very good question. Let me show you, if we dig into the state here a little bit and I zoom in, these are the regions of Pennsylvania as we divide them up for polling and on election night, clusters of counties. And the first thing I want to point out is the area around Philadelphia and the Philadelphia suburbs. Now, 1 in 3 votes in the whole state are going to be cast in there. And what you see right now is that it is very blue. That means Joe Biden is leading there in our estimates. He'll probably win about 80% of the vote in Philadelphia and then running up substantial margins in those Philly suburbs. The story within the geography there, Elaine, is that Joe Biden has, at the moment, more than a 20-point lead among college degree holding white voters. And that is a group out there in the suburbs that has been trending towards the Democrats, not just in and around Philadelphia, but also in state after state. And those college educated voters are what is propelling him to these leads. And it's something that really since 2016, we have seen significant movements away from Donald Trump and the Republicans and towards the Democrats among that group. And you see it here in the geography of the state, Elaine.
Really interesting to hear about that trend. All right, let's turn to Ohio. Donald Trump won the state handily in 2016. Does it look like he's on track to repeat that?
Well, he's in a toss-up race at the moment. Now, in Ohio, Joe Biden doesn't do quite as well among those college degree holding white voters, though he still leads by double digits, just not by the amount by which he leads in Pennsylvania. I'll zoom in on Ohio here. And one of the things you want to watch as we break down the state, and again, the Cleveland area, the northern external suburbs there, a lot of blue-collar votes in that area, the fast-growing Columbus area, currently leading towards Joe Biden, and the Cincinnati area, which is currently a toss-up in our estimates. This is how you break down Ohio. It's how the whole thing adds up to a tie. And one of the things that you want to watch, I'm going to run some scenarios now for you, and I'll switch this over to our scenario screen. What this means is, let me show you the white non-college vote that has been so strong for the president at the moment at 60%. If Joe Biden can cut into those margins, he stands a chance of not only swinging the Columbus area a little bit, but maybe going ahead in the state. But to your original question of what the president needs to do, well, if he gets even more support among those white non-college voters, which have been such a core of his base, and I'll move that number up to, say, 63%, then he moves back ahead in Ohio. And that's one way to illustrate how important that voting bloc is to him and the way in which Ohio might swing with a slight marginal change among one key demographic group. Elaine.
All right, Anthony Salvanto, quite the TV you have there. So helpful in understanding this political landscape. Anthony, thank you so much.
I know.
Really appreciate it. Thank you.